What's up, guys, and welcome to another 3DS video. I know, I can't, it's 2022, and I can't stop talking about this beautiful thing. But what I mentioned in my last video, if you guys haven't seen it, it's over there, where I talked about the hardware specifications, which 3DS might be right for you, capture card stuff, and software. Well, it's already coming to light. In that video, I mentioned that software prices are going to start going crazy once the eShop closes next year. And, well, it's already started. In fact, let's check out two games that are about to go up in price. The first game, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D right here. This game is probably the worst way to play Metal Gear Solid 3D, or 3D, I mean Snake Eater. But it just got taken off the eShop, and thanks to eShop shutting down in the future, cart-only prices, which you guys can see right here at pricecharting.com, well, it's starting to cost $69 for just the game. That's without the box. If you're like me and you need the box and the whole set, well, you're looking to be spending $94 to about $100. And that's a lot for, the worst way to play Metal Gear Solid 3. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about which 3DS eShop exclusive games to get, which 3DS virtual console games to look out for and to get, and of course, just overall 3DS games I think might go up in price or that you want to pick up, aka the best games on the 3DS, so you should get them anyway. But before I get into that, guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, be notified anytime I put out a new video. Let it be a Mario 64 ROM hack, Mario World ROM hack, a video like this, ending explanation videos, fan theory or game theory videos, or just, fun Let's Plays and guides. If you guys like that, sounds like your thing, well, help out the channel, help out your boy. And don't forget to comment. If I miss a 3DS game, that's not the Barbie $5,000, $3,000 game, but maybe your favorite 3DS game or a game I never heard of, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if I shouldn't have included the game and, what games for other people to help out in case they see the video in the future. Thank you. So, like I said before, the 3DS software is, well, it's starting to become a big thing. And it's not just because the eShop is closing, it's just cartridges have always been expensive throughout time. SNES and N64 games skyrocketed in price because cartridges are expensive to make. That's why, publishers and even games went to CDs. So, I think the most important thing when you're looking for 3DS games is what are you going to enjoy? What's playable? What's fun to you? But if you're someone who's a collector or someone who's like, well, I wanted to try this game, but I just didn't have the time back then, well, now might be the right time to get that game, even if you don't start it right away. Because with the eShop closing next year, and with scalpers, and with people going like crazy because the 3DS is always in the news and any press is good press, well, in our case, it's bad press, you got to make the jump now. So let's start off with virtual console games. Virtual console is obviously available on your Nintendo Switch. We look at the Nintendo Switch, we know we have NES games, SNES games, and some N64 games. But with the rumor of GBA games coming out, that kind of helps out. But that wasn't really a 3DS issue. The big thing about the 3DS Virtual Console is that it has Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Let me stress that enough. We may never get those games. I don't know why Nintendo hates their Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, or maybe it's just there's too many third-party or licensed games on there, but now is your time to be getting these games. I'm going to be listing about 7 virtual console games I think every 3DS owner should get, because we may never see them re-released again. The first game I recommend getting is Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. Probably the most underrated Zeldas ever. But Oracle of Seasons, amazing game. Oracle of Ages, alright game, are the first of the Capcom licensed Zelda games. The third one is Minish Cap for the GBA. And these games are really unique because it kind of has the Pokemon thing to it, where it's a red and blue. And if you beat Seasons, you get a password that you can use in Ages or vice versa. And by doing that, you actually unlock the true secret ending and the final dungeon and boss. That's why I recommend getting both these games. Yes, Link's Awakening did get a remake on the Switch, so it's totally possible that these games do get a re-release or get remade. However, with the Capcom licensing, there might be some issues there. I recommend getting them and really checking them out. There's some fantastic games. Seasons focuses on battles and combat and bosses, while Ages is all about puzzles and dungeons. Number 2, I'm going to say Link's Awakening DX. While the remake is a 1-for-1 on Link's Awakening DX, there's just something magical and charming about playing the OG one. It's not a must-buy, but it is, the only way you're probably ever going to experience the Game Boy Color version again. With the remake being the superior version for it on the Switch, it's just something nice, it's cheap, and it's a look back at history. Link's Awakening is a great game, so if you don't want to pay $50, $60 for the Switch one, you got this one. Number 3, Donkey Kong Land Trilogy and Donkey Kong 1994. These games are really unique because Donkey Kong Land is the Game Boy version of Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country got remade on the GBA with like added cutscenes and more stories and all that. But Donkey Kong Land is not a one-for-one remake. It's smaller levels, and it actually added extra content to make sure, or Rare decided to add extra content onto it to make sure people would be like, oh, I should get Donkey Kong Land. It's not just the same game. I think they even have Metro or New Donk City in Donkey Kong Country 1 or Donkey Kong Land 1. So it's really unique. I think you guys should check it out. The Donkey Kong Country series is some of the best platforming ever. Donkey Kong Country 2 is one of the greatest games ever. Of course, you could play them all on your beautiful Nintendo Switch. But Donkey Kong Land, you don't really see these re-released too much, and they're not highly talked about. So it's nice to own a rare piece of history. Donkey Kong 1994, though, is a fantastic game. Might be top 5 on the Game Boy Color, Game Boy series. Like, when I played this game, I could not put it down. It's technically the sequel to the Donkey Kong arcade game. However, it's a puzzle adventure platformer, and that doesn't really even do it justice. It's just such a unique game, really fun, really clever, and it's 1,000,000% worth a play and a buy. Number 4, Pokemon Yellow and Crystal. Now, you can choose whatever one you want to get, but the thing is, the reason why I'm saying getting Yellow and Crystal, while Yellow has the anime tiebacks, these are the superior versions of Gold and Silver and Red and Blue, because it's the ones that involve or have every single Pokemon or add extra content. Yellow is a little unique as it has anime content because it was so popular at the time, but this is the only way you're going to be able to play Gen 1 and Gen 2 stuff also with using the Pokemon Bank. So you could transfer stuff from your Gen 1, Gen 2 to the most recent Pokemon, whatever Pokemon are allowed on there. But yeah, that's what makes it really cool, and it might be the only way you'll be able to do this. So, number 5, staying in the Pokemon trading card game. Now, this is a strange Game Boy Color game, but to me, it's kind of like a time machine. The Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color is a super duper short game, and really, it just kind of brings you back to the world of playing Pokemon cards. It's got simple rules, it's got all the amazing packs, very short game, but very unique, cool game that will hit players' card itch. While Master Duel on Steam is like the Yu-Gi-Oh card game for right now, this is a cool look back into the past, and honestly, if you're a Pokemon fan, I definitely recommend checking it out. Number 6, Mega Man Game Boy games and the Mega Man Extreme Game Boy Color series. Now, Mega Man on the Game Boy is not that great, but the reason why I'm saying getting these games, especially the Mega Man Extreme series, because that's based off the Mega Man X series on the SNES, and Mega Man X is obviously fantastic. I'm an X2 guy, but I'm just saying X1, X2, X3, that's what the Extreme series parallels. These games are never, ever re-released, ever. Look at every single Capcom package of Mega Man Legacy collections, like this one on the Switch has Mega Man 1 through 10, no Mega Man Game Boy games. Mega Man X Collection on the Switch and on the PS2, no Mega Man Extreme games. These might be the only way you'll ever be able to play these games, and honestly, it's worth having history like this. They're not the greatest games ever, but the fact is these games never get love or re-releases, and it might be your only way to play them officially. And last but not least, Game & Watch Gallery 3. This is the Game Boy Color game, and I don't think it's like, oh, you should get this, but it's really a game I loved. It's something like, I call it like an app game. It's Game & Watch games, but they remade it with Mario characters, tried to modernize it. Super duper fun, really clever, and really you should look them up, try to play them. Nintendo put a lot of love into these, and they're really fun. They're really fun. Now, I want to give a little note now before I end. Virtual console games, these are great, but there's also things called the 3D classics from Nintendo, and this is going to go into the Eshop Exclusives list. But when you're looking for the VC versions of games, make sure you don't get the virtual you're looking at the virtual console. Make sure you get the 3D classics of games that were available for the virtual console. Well, I said that kind of strange. Think about it like this. Kirby's Adventure, his first adventure on Game Boy, not a great Game Boy game. And available on VC, but guess what? It was completely remade with auto stereoscopic 3D and I guess smoother frame rate for Nintendo's 3D classics. So make sure you don't make the mistake of getting some of these games, possibly Kid Icarus, Final Fight, etc. on Virtual Console when you could get the superior 3D Classics remake of it. And with that, let's get to the next part of this video, the 3DS eShop exclusives. So, of course, you have to get at least one Nintendo 3D Classic game. I personally recommend getting Kirby's Adventure or Excitebike. While these games aren't the greatest games, Kirby's Adventure was made for the 20th anniversary. It's probably the best 3D Classic game, like not 3D Classic made overall, I'm just talking about like as a game itself. And while I do recommend Excitebike, it's more of how unique Excitebike is on the 3DS when it's, you know, classic. Excitebike is pretty lame, but the way 3D Classics did it, it's super cool. It goes from the original one, widens it out, and really fantastic thing. But you cannot go wrong with getting any 3D Classic of your choice. Just make sure you get at least one. On that note, though, Sega did 3D Classics way better than Nintendo. I highly recommend getting at least two Sega Classics. Sega is nice because they have 3 packages of all their games included in it, though I think 2 of them are exclusive to Japan. But these games have, I think Sega remade about 20 plus 3D Classic game or Sega Classic games. I recommend getting Sonic 1 or Sonic 2 or one of my personal favorite Genesis games, Gunstar Heroes. These games are so much better than Nintendo's 3D Classics. They outclass them, and while you may say, oh, well, Sonic is, well, first off, I played Sonic 1 or 2 a million times. You've never played Sonic 1 or 2 like this. Sonic gets re-released all the time. Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But they have never been remade with auto-stereoscopic 3D. They've never been, you know, completely brightened up and touched up pixels like they have been on the 3DS. Plus, it kind of has the perfect resolution and pixel rate on the 3DS. The smaller screen, it just really makes the game pop out in a non-3D sense if you don't want to play it with 3D. But it's really cool, and it's the only way you'll ever get to play these games in a unique, different way. You're gonna play Sonic. I own about 4 or 5 Sonic collections. You got the Sonic Mega Collection, Gems Collection, and Sonic Origins is launching in June. Guess what? None of these are the Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 3DS or 3D Classic remake. In addition, I had to bring up some extra news, but you guys may have saw it before. Sega plans to delist digital versions of their games with Sonic Origins coming out. So previous standalone versions are leaving on May 20th. We don't know where they're leaving. It could be the PlayStation Store, Nintendo eShop. But guess what? Nintendo eShop, that's what's closing real soon, and that's not a good thing. So you can get the superior version of this game by getting it on your 3DS. Other eShop exclusive games I think you guys should look out for: Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. While this is Phoenix Wright 5 and 6, and you could get, of course, Phoenix Wright 1, 2, and 3 on any console, you won't be able to get 5 and 6 on any console. They're only available on the 3DS, or they're only available on your phone. I don't think a lot of people like to play games on their phone. If you're watching this video, I don't think you're a phone. You're not a mobile player. But yeah, these games, Phoenix Wright belongs on the on the DS. He started on the DS. Well, he started on the GBA in Japan, but for here in America, he started on the DS. It's his home. If I think the DS, I think like Phoenix Wright, Professor Layton, Mario Kart, and New Super Mario Bros. Those are the games I always think about when I think about my DS. And you get to experience Phoenix Wright the way it's meant to be played. Just check it out on there. Even if you're going to start with 5 and 6. Check out the first 3 on your Switch, PS4, PS5, etc. I believe they call that the Phoenix Wright Trilogy, or Ace Attorney Trilogy, I believe they call it. But yeah, get into it. If this is the way you get into it, please. I love Phoenix Wright. I highly recommend it. Games 3 and 4 is, well, 3/4 is any game from the Guild 01 series. Now, Guild 01 is kind of a strange being or strange collaboration. It's all these Japanese producers and all that. They formed together to form this Guild 01 as a compilation for the Nintendo 3DS. And they released a lot of games from like Level 5, Grasshopper, and all these other ones. I personally recommend Crimson Shroud or Liberation Maiden from these. Crimson Shroud is a Dungeons and Dragons JRPG. Really cool because there's no voice acting, but there's fantastic music and everything is done by dice roll. It's really cool, really unique. Hit that D&D itch. Or Liberation Maiden. That's made by Suda51 of the Grasshopper Studios. He's got like a cult following, so I'm pretty sure everybody's played it. But it's like a top-down shooter. It's got this really cute anime waifu, where this game got a sequel, Liberation Maiden Sin. However, that became a dating visual novel. But this game is a a gunship shooter, about 2 hours long, and just classic Suda 51, just strange. Stretch mode, push mode. Now you get this for your Wii U or 3DS, but stretch mode I definitely recommend getting because it's just an enhanced push mode with more puzzles and extra things to do. It's a unique. It pops out. I really like the 3D visualization puzzles they had. I can't even say it. But yeah, it really had a lot of unique puzzles. It's kind of fun. You can just pick up your 3DS, do 2 or 3 puzzles at a time, and put it away at any. Number 6, Pokemon Sun and Moon demo. Strange, I know. But you get Ash's Greninja through this, plus you get to at least try out Pokemon. I think it's just cool to get Ash's Greninja because he comes from... Well, he does come from X and Y, but he comes from the X and Y anime series, and that could be, or it is considered, Ash's best anime series or adventure ever. So the Kalos, aka Ash Greninja, definitely worth playing the 30-minute demo of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Also, it's the only way to get it. Number 6, Street Pass games. Look, this is weird. Street Pass is dead. Trust me, I just flew from New York to Florida, got 0 Street Passes, unless it was my other 3DS Street Passing with myself. And Street Pass games, they're not what they used to be. But the puzzle swap and Find Me were basically you had to find other people to Street Pass. The rest of these games can totally be played alone. You get the play coins, you get a stock market game, they have a shump, they have a flowering game, fishing game, zombie game. Plus, they're just part of Nintendo history. You'll miss out on it. I think it's just cool to have it rather than not have it. Plus, you can get them all bundled for cheaper rather than buying them individually. It's better to have it. You might get FOMO'd, so they're cool. The next game, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, kind of iffy on this because this game is like, half the game is doing microtransactions, so you'd have to get it now. But it's about playing these wacky baseball mini games, all very unique and all very fun and addicting. But the other half of the game is about like a very Nintendo way of doing microtransactions where you have to haggle the price down. Each game is worth $4, but you talk with Rusty and you give him donuts, comb, you talk nice to him, help him out, give him advice, and you can haggle down the prices to cheaper than they've ever been. So you get maybe a $4 game for $1. You can never get them for free, but yes, it's very fun, very cool, and it's actually part of the story. Last but not least, Kirby's Blowout Blast. I finally played that this year. It's a 3D Kirby game. Technically Kirby's first ever 3D game. First ever fully 3D game. But it's based off a mini game from Kirby's Planet Robobot. And it's super fun. About 5 to 8 hour game, depending on, skill level and things you want to do in it. It's got a lot of callbacks to HAL Laboratory games. And really, it's probably Kirby's best eShop exclusive game. Really fun. I enjoyed it. You guys can check out my playthrough on my channel if you're on the fence with it. But definitely check it out. If not, just get Planet Robobot. It's way better, and that's where the minigame came from Kirby's 3D. Now, last but not least, the best 3DS games, aka games you should probably get because they're going to go up in price once the eShop closes. Now, I did mention in my first video, Phoenix Wright vs. Professor Layton. That game is $30 on the eShop, and it was $90 for a physical cart. That is a definite must play. That's gonna be number 1. It's not my favorite game on the 3DS, but I'm just telling you, you guys need to experience it, especially if you enjoyed one or the other series, or you got into Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice and you wanted to play this game. Really unique, fully animated cutscenes, super fun. It was like every DS owner's crossover dream, and we may never see anything like this again. Number 2, Super Mario 3D Land. Now, this game I don't think is going to become expensive, but it's the best 3DS game on the system. It uses 3D perfectly. There's different types of ways. You can have 3D pop out. You can have it, like concaved in or like caved in. I'm not really sure what the word is, but this is the beginning of the transition of Mario into Mario Odyssey. Super duper fun. I really love 3D Land, and it's a game anytime I give someone a 3DS, it's the first game out of my mouth. It's just that good. Number 3, Mario & Luigi Dream Team. Now, the Mario & Luigi saga is kind of strange because Superstar Saga was from the GBA and was really good. Then the DS kind of had some alright ones. Partners in Time was horrible. Bowser's Inside Story is a bit overrated. But then Dream Team came out, and it's part of the year of Luigi. Focuses on Luigi. But this is like a 40-45 hour full JRPG. Fantastic story writing, fantastic gameplay, and quite difficult at the end too. Number 4, Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Now, I was pretty divisive on this, as were quite a few people when this game came out. A lot of people were ready to just give every Zelda game a 9 or a 10. But this game is the sequel to A Link to the Past, and that's a really hard thing to follow up on. And playing it at first really wasn't feeling it, I gotta be honest. But as time went on, I come to realize it was a unique game, really fun, worth, a play at any cost, being a fan of Zelda or owning a 3DS. And honestly, there's just a lot of love into it. It's something that all 3DS players should have, or, you're getting into Zelda, this might be the one to get you into the Zelda mode, or mood, or whatever it is. Number 4, Mario Kart 7. Personally, my favorite Mario Kart, but it's not Mario Kart Wii, so it's not the best Mario Kart. But Mario Kart 7 really set the bar for the next generation of Mario Kart. Everything Mario Kart 8 has to owe to it is from Mario Kart 7. I just think 7 did it cleaner. Plus, Mario Kart on the go, and not everybody has to own the game to play it with you. So if you have somebody as a friend who doesn't have Mario Kart 7, you can always play that with them without them owning the game. That was number 5. So number 6, Metroid 2: Samus's Return. Now, this is the precursor to Metroid Dread, but not chronologically. The game was developed with a lot of new ideas in mind, and with AM2R, a fan remake that I've played on this channel, you guys can check that out, which is another Metroid 2 remake, being shut down by Nintendo. Well, the reason was because of this. This game has that action command button, and it's a remake of Samus's worst game, the Game Boy game Metroid 2: Samus Returns, but it kind of takes all the features that we know in Dread, and it was really the starter for it. It's a must-play if you're a fan of, if you were a fan of Dread, absolute must-play. But if you're getting to the Metroid series, this is the best way to play it. Number 7, Fire Emblem. Pick your choice because there's like 3 Fire Emblems in the 3DS. However, I played Fates and I played a little bit of Awakening, but everybody just kind of chooses Awakening. It's the game that revived the Fire Emblem franchise. It's considered one of the best ones, and really, it's a really good tactical RPG. I'm a bigger fan of the Disgaea tactical RPG series, but if you want an SRPG, strategy RPG, this is on the go. This is the game. So get a Fire Emblem that you think you'd enjoy, or the characters you think you'd like. It's all about your waifus, man. Make sure you get the right waifus and husbandos. Number 8, the Legend of Zelda N64 remake. So that's Majora's Mask 3D and Ocarina of Time 3D. Majora's Mask 3D is the superior, best way to play that game. I actually didn't like Majora's Mask growing up, and then I played it on the 3DS, and my goodness, it's such a good game. Because of how good the minor quality of life changes that Majora's Mask 3D implements, fantastic. Ocarina of Time also has a lot of quality of life stuff, plus it has Master Quest on there, and just a lot of content, very clean, 60 FPS, etc. But, it's 60. But, no, it's a 30 FPS on the Ocarina of Time. But that doesn't matter. These are some of the best games ever made, and now you have it on the go. Number 9, Kirby Planet Robobot. Now, there's Kirby's Triple Deluxe on the 3DS, but that game has nothing on Kirby Planet Robobot. The levels, the extra powers, the story, the bosses, oh my goodness. Kirby Planet Robobot is one of Kirby's best games ever, like one of his best adventures ever. And you gotta play it. You own a 3DS, Kirby Planet Robobot is a must-buy. Number 10, Pokemon XY or Sun and Moon, your choice. Personally, I think you should get X and Y. There was so much hype for Pokemon X and Y. I remember I was passing Nintendo World because I was at New York Comic Con that year. Oh my god, lines out the door, people celebrating, like it was crazy. This was the first ever 3D modeled Pokemon game. And it's got roller skating, so it's awesome. But yeah, definitely get one of the 2 games. Sun and Moon's got Z moves with Mega, and I think XY is the only one with Mega Evolution, but I don't remember if Sun and Moon has it. But yeah, if you're gonna get Sun and Moon, there's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so that's the superior version of it. But X and Y only had X and Y, and I think that makes it kind of rare. Pokemon Z was rumored for so long. Number 11, Luigi's Mansion 2. This game is considered not a good Luigi's Mansion game. People didn't like it. But it's got an arcade game. You ever been to a Dave & Buster's or any arcade? This is what that Luigi's Mansion arcade game is based off. And guess what? We're probably never going to get Luigi's Mansion 2 ever. We got Luigi's Mansion 3, and while Luigi's Mansion 1 was remade for the 3DS, which I think is going to be a rare, expensive game, so you guys should look out for it, when they re-release Luigi's Mansion, we're probably going to get the GameCube game. And, we're going to get it, because it's already a console game. But we're not going to get Luigi's Mansion 2. And that's why you need to get that game. You can play Luigi's Mansion 1 on your GameCube. And probably in the future when it's re-released. Luigi's Mansion 2, doubtful. You need to get this game. The 3DS exclusive. It's really not terrible. It's kind of fun, and it's just Luigi's Mansion, so you know you're gonna have a good time. Number 12, New Super Mario Bros. 2. NSMB 2 is the last great 2D Mario platformer. NSMB U is a sleeper, that's the Wii U one, and NSMB Wii was kind of okay at best. But NSMB 2, it's got callbacks to Mario 3, it's got this really, optional mission of collecting 1,000,000 coins, and it's just really fun. Like, the soundtrack is great, the level designs are great, Raccoon Suit's back, and it's my personal favorite for New Super Mario Bros. 2, but it's the best one since New Super Mario Bros. 1 in 2006. Number 13, Kid Icarus Uprising. This game is rumored to being remade by Bandai Namco, but at the time being, that doesn't exist. And Kid Icarus Uprising is one of the funniest, unique games on the 3DS. It's made by Sakurai of Sora Unlimited. He really brought Kid back, he really brought Pit back to life. And Palutena, they had all these anime, trailer, cutscenes, extra things. I can't stress that enough how special this game is. It's just so different from what anybody expected ever, and it's so good. Number 14, would it be 14? Yeah, number 14, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. Now, let me stress this enough. Please don't get the Wii version on your Wii U of Donkey Kong Country Returns. Please, I don't know why I kept saying countries. That version has motion controls. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D has full button mapping, has a whole extra world and extra levels of content, has a hard mode to it, so let's just call it classic Donkey Kong Country. And again, it doesn't have motion control, so you don't have to shake your Wiimote to have Donkey Kong blow or roll. It's just the superior version to play this game. Yes, you're giving up 60 FPS, but oh my goodness, DKCR 3D is like the best Donkey Kong Country game that's not named Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest. Number 15, Smash Bros. 3DS. Look, it's Smash Bros. It's the only Smash Bros. We're ever going to get on the go, technically. I mean, I can't play Switch Smash Brothers on the go. But Smash Run, the only two words I gotta say, Smash Run, way better than Smash Tour. It's so great. Smash Bros. 3DS is so unique, so cool, so cool. At 16, I have Monster Hunter Stories. Now, Monster Hunter has a lot of games on the 3DS. But Monster Hunter Stories was like this new JRPG Pokemon capture of Monster Hunter. Really different, and it was so popular that I actually got a sequel on the Switch. This is where it started. I think you guys should check it out. It's just something unique, fun, cool. On my list formerly was Dragon Quest VIII and Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, but Xenoblade got a remake on the Switch, and Dragon Quest VIII, I think Dragon Quest IX is better on the DS, and I also think Dragon Quest XI's is the superior or one everyone should get into. Dragon Quest VIII is considered like the best story, and it's a really classic JRPG, but it wasn't my thing. And I mean, yes, it's a rare game to have, so if you find it, you should buy it. But to me, it wasn't a must-buy because you could also play the PS2 one. Other games were Etrian Odyssey, Devil Survivor, Persona Q. These were other Atlas games. If you can find them, I definitely recommend buying them or checking them out. But yeah, this is my whole list for 3DS games that everybody should have, the software you should be looking out for, the software you should have, because in less than a year, we're going to be not only screwed out of some of these games, but we're already starting to get screwed from scalpers and and people overhyping things by pricing things like Metal 3 up to $90. So make your moves now, guys. Be safe. Enjoy. Let me know which games you pick up. Let me know which games you already had. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Good luck on your hunt, everybody. And I hope I helped you guys getting a 3DS, the hardware battle, and the other half of the software battle. Peace, homies.